Update. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to give any money to my pregnant ex? Original story. My ex, 25 female and I, 27 male, were together about 6 months. But during that time we were free to see other people. Things weren't working out, so we broke up. Over a month after that, she finds out she's pregnant and tells me baby is mine. But I already knew she was seeing other guys, so it was also possible the baby isn't. She got mad that I was having doubts. But I said if we got a paternity test and it showed I'm the dad, then yeah, I'll 100% be involved. My ex didn't want that, and she'd rather wait until after the baby is born to get a test done. So I said that's fine, it's your choice. But I won't get myself involved unless I know the baby is mine. Like, I already know I could be set up for child support if I start helping out now, and then later it's revealed I'm not the father. I live in the US and have heard this stuff happens a lot. I'd rather not even risk it, you know? She's about 8 months now, and I have started saving up money. Reading up some books, making shopping cart lists of baby clothes and furniture to buy in case I am the father, so it's not like I'm not preparing for this at all. So right now, money's tight with her since I know she's only working part-time. She doesn't have money for baby bassinet or clothes because she practically lives paycheck to paycheck. She started asking to let her borrow money for baby stuff, but I've told her no. As far as I know, she doesn't have other family she's close to, and friends are the same as her with money. But I already said I'll start giving her money and helping out once I know her son is mine. Otherwise, I'd rather not get involved. I've even told her to reach out to the other guys who could also be the dads, but she said one is even more broke, and the other she hasn't been able to contact. So for right now, seems like I'm the only one actually able to offer financial support. We have a couple mutual friends and I'm getting crap from them because they know I have the money to help out. She could be the mom of my kids, so the least I could do is provide. They say they would if they had the money. Since I do have the means and this baby could be mine, I should already be helping. They have a point. The baby could be mine and I'll be happy to help out. Once I know he is in fact mine. But everyone else is seeing it as I'm being too cold and inconsiderate. I don't think I am, but I want to know what others believe. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. You don't owe her anything until you're sure of paternity. And to be honest, if she can't afford to have a kid, regardless of who the father is, she shouldn't be having a kid. Took the words right out of my mouth. Let's not forget either that I can't reach one guy and the other is broke is a her problem, and likely the only reason she's trying to peg OP as the father. I'm not sure why she would even keep a baby if she can't afford it, especially if 2 out of 3 of the possible fathers can't provide. I wouldn't want to be stuck paying for a kid that wasn't mine either. Seems like this girl really messed up. And if she is in such dire financial straits, it will only get worse after she delivers and can't work for a bit. You would think she would have gotten the test if she was hurting for cash that bad, but the fact that she didn't shows me she thinks he probably isn't a father. I wouldn't help the ex at all. Not financially or otherwise until he knows the paternity of the kid. Family court is a strange beast, and I wouldn't give them any reason to make him responsible if the child turns out to not be his. Edited to add, I just read that not only did you use protection, she did too. So that coupled with her not wanting to get a paternity test tells me she doesn't think you're the father. She just thinks you're the best financial option, which you are. Don't help or give her a dime until paternity is established, because there is a huge chance it's not yours. You actually have friends who want you to give money to an ex-girlfriend who could be pregnant with another guy's baby? Tell those people to give her their own money, then wait for the paternity test. Not a-hole. Adding on to this comment because it's the only one I can find at the moment regarding money. I have 2 children myself. When I was pregnant, I needed $0. That's right, 0. None of the appointments charged a copay, and I had terrible insurance during parts of my second pregnancy. As far as items for the baby, I know at least 6 Facebook groups off the top of my head for my area where people give away every damn thing you need for a baby. Cribs, clothes, strollers, car seats, bottles, heck even breast pumps, surplus formula, diapers and wipes. There are social programs she can get set up with and her doctor can help her. She can apply for WIC and get all that stuff for free. She doesn't need any money from Opie. She sounds like she is just hoping he will be the dad because he sounds like the best choice out of the potential list of fathers. Do not let her put your name on a birth certificate until you have had a paternity test, or you will be screwed for money till the kid is 18, even if it is not yours. Now for the update. Hasn't been that long, but thought I should update since many of you wanted to know. Following what a few here suggested, I tried talking to my ex again about getting the prenatal paternity test done right now, since she kept pressing me about giving her money. I said if her situation is that bad, then let's have this test done already. So if the baby is mine, I can start helping now. Because if we waited until after birth, she was going to have to wait for my support until the results came in. Plus, if she still refused a paternity test, then it would be more waiting around to get a court-ordered test. Meaning, no help from me at all for a while, even after the baby is already here. So yeah, she agreed to it in the end. He's not mine. I just got the results day before yesterday. My ex didn't really have much to say. She only texted, "Fine then, I won't bother you anymore." I told her I was sorry and wished her luck. Also told her about what you guys commented about Facebook posts selling or giving away used baby stuff, plus the WIC program that could help her out since she's low income. But she didn't respond after that and haven't heard from her since, so I don't know if she'll look into those. Not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed. I know I was having my doubts about this baby being mine and was keeping my distance. But like I said, I was mentally and physically preparing in case he was, so that I could be there as a father. Still feel that loss, but at least now I know for sure. I appreciate everyone who commented, and thanks for the info and advice. I'm sorry to hear about your disappointment, but you did everything you could to help, to a reasonable extent, by providing resources for her to look into. Sad for Opie, sad for the child, and for the mom. Hope the rightful dad and mom can figure out a way so that this little one doesn't have to struggle in life. Not they whole. I wouldn't hold my breath on the actual father ever stepping up. So sad all around. I'm rabidly pro-choice, but in situations like this, I cannot fathom why would one choose to have the kid and raise them. Thanks for the update. I was curious about how the situation was going to turn out. Since you knew she was seeing other guys, you did the smartest thing you could have done. Establish paternity as the first step. It's understandable that you may be left with a feeling of loss. For a period of time, there was the potential that you brought another human into the world. That potential is now gone. You seem like a good guy, and have never been the a-hole in this situation. Not a-hole. Yeah, exactly. Hard not to feel some sort of attachment at the possibility of having a kid. I know it's not the same as actually losing a kid. He was never mine to begin with, but I guess there's still that emptiness and sadness. I know I'll get over it in time. The news is still fresh and all. Just a suggestion. Could you all throw her a baby shower? Especially the friends who told you off for not helping her. What are they doing now? Funny how people clam up when they could need help. Maybe, yeah. Probably wouldn't be able to actually meet with COVID. Plus, she's due soon. Their issue was they were all just as broke as her, but I don't see why pitching in on a gift would be a problem for them. Not day hall. My cousin just found out the baby he thought was his daughter isn't his. She lied, and the baby is over a year old now. They weren't together, and the baby went back and forth between them each week until he received the paternity results. He gave her $2,000 a month. Everyone in our family is heartbroken because now she is keeping her from him since he discovered the truth. He's a mess. A lot less painful. Really smart of you to do this. It's crazy people do this. Wow, I'm really sorry for your cousin. I hope things get better for him. Can't even imagine how hard that must be. I don't know why people need to lie. Needing money or feeling like you don't have any other option, I guess, is one reason. But why at the cost of someone else's life and your child's too? Anyways, that's a really tough situation. I hope he gets some help. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for not giving my brother part of the money my dad left me? My brother and I, 27 male, are a year apart, so he's 1 year older than me. When he was 3, it all came out that my mom was having an affair and my brother's real dad was the one she was cheating with. The guy was secretly coming over to spend time with my brother until they decided to tell my dad because he wanted to be involved. I was still little, but from what I was told, this crushed my dad. Even when he talked to me about it years later, it still made him upset. They already knew the other guy was the bio dad, but my dad did a paternity test on both of us to make sure. I was the only one that was his. My parents divorced and I was living between households. So, my brother's dad was involved and living with my mom. But when my brother was 9, he took off and left them, so my mom was struggling. After that, my parents started fighting over my mom wanting my dad to be involved in my brother's life too, since he was his dad before all of this. This drama dragged for years, but my dad refused to help with my brother. My dad moved to another city 9 hours away due to work when I was 11. They let me move with him, so I saw my mom 2 to 3 times a month plus school breaks. She still pushed for my brother to go with me when my dad would come pick me up, so around 16 I just stopped going. My dad unfortunately had a heart attack a few months ago, and I lost him. I miss him every day, and the last few months have been really draining emotionally. What's happening right now is starting to weigh down on me. Since I was my dad's only son and he never remarried, basically everything went to me. I'm not a millionaire or anything, but with this kind of money, my student loans would be paid off completely. My wife and I are talking about a kid soon, and the rest of the money could be put into those expenses. My brother and I don't talk that much, but he's been calling and messaging non-stop about this. He says it's unfair for my dad to leave him out like this, and he deserved some of that money too. And he thinks it's only right that I split the money with him since he was my dad's son at one point. And I mean, yeah, he was for 3 years, but then he had his dad for a while, and my dad never had involvement with my brother since the divorce. Even my mom is giving me gripes and telling me not to be an a-hole like my dad by excluding my brother. I'm just really mad about the whole thing. He left that money for me, and it will be a huge help to pay off those debts and then invest the rest in our kid. But I don't know if not wanting to split what I received with him an a-hole thing or not. Now for the top comments. Not a-hole. There's no responsibility to him. It doesn't matter that he was his dad for all of a whopping 3 years. He had his dad. They chose him, and only guilted your father when they were jilted. Your mother has turned him into an entitled person like her. Not a-hole. How much do you remember from being a 3-year-old? If anything, your mom is an a-hole. Sorry for talking crap on your mom, for pushing him on your dad, and probably building up the injustice of it all with him. But no, you are not an a-hole. Don't worry about it. Have my own issues with her, not related to the cheating or this, so I don't take any offense. Not a-hole. You do not need to give your brother any of the money your dad left you. In fact, it would be disrespectful to your dad's memory to do it, knowing how he felt about the situation. I am not sure where your mom got the idea that it is other people's responsibility to work out the complications she created in her life by cheating and having child with a man other than her husband, but that makes her an a-hole. She was fine with divorcing your dad and living with the other guy, and only wanted your dad to be involved when the other guy turned out to be a deadbeat. You were not responsible for the fact that your brother's dad is such a loser. Your brother and you don't talk that much, but all of a sudden, he is constantly in touch because he wants your money? That's a-hole behavior. If he wants help, he should reach out to his father and ask. If that doesn't work out, that's his problem, not yours. You were an innocent bystander to all this, and you don't owe anyone anything here. I would tell him and your mother that the answer is no. You are honoring your father's wishes, and nothing they will say changed your mind about that. The money will be used for your debts and to start your family on a good footing. Tell them the next time they mention it, you will block their numbers and do your best to move on without them. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for respecting my late wife's wishes about keeping her family out? My wife unfortunately passed away last year when our daughter was only 3 months old. It was very difficult to get through, but my little girl and I are keeping it together. My daughter is 16 months now, and there's been pressure from my wife's sister to let her side of the family see my daughter. The issue is, my wife had absolutely no contact with her family since she was 18. So 16 years of not seeing them. Her home life was something she never wanted to talk about. It always made her upset, so I never pushed her to tell me. All I know is that they were manipulative and abusive in some form. She left as soon as she was 18, changed her last name, and never spoke to them again. 4 years ago, she got into contact with her older sister, and she's the only person my wife allowed into our lives. By that, I mean we met through video chat, but never actually in person. We still maintained contact after my wife passed, and we met a couple times before and during my wife's funeral. My sister-in-law called me a few weeks ago. She mentioned her parents would really like to meet their granddaughter and want to start over. They didn't attend my wife's funeral because they knew she wouldn't want them to be there. One thing my wife always made clear is that she did not want them near our daughter. Ever. I told my sister-in-law this. Well, she got very upset. She said it's been years, and yes, her parents were awful people. Again, won't say exactly what they did, but losing their daughters made them reflect on things. And they want to meet my daughter since my wife never gave them that chance. She's still trying to convince me, and so far I've said no. Each time I just feel more and more bad for denying them. But it's what my wife wanted. Her parents found my Facebook. Pretty sure sister-in-law might have told them. And I've gotten dozens of messages begging me to let my daughter know her mom's side of the family. And I should keep her from knowing her grandparents for past mistakes. None of them will leave me alone. And sister-in-law has said a few times that I may be grieving losing a wife, but to have some empathy for them losing a child. Because right now, I'm being too heartless for denying them the chance to meet the only piece of my wife they have left. I am at my wit's end with this, because I am not sure if I am being an a-hole or not. I don't know the whole reason why my wife never wanted to see them again. Even if I did though, I'd still like to honor her wish. The way they are being, however, makes it hard not to wonder if I am. Not an a-hole. All I know is they were manipulative and abusive in some form. The best prediction of future behavior is past behavior. None of them will leave me alone. I'm at my wit's end with this because I am not sure if I'm being a-hole or not. You are getting a glimpse of their manipulative tactics. One thing my wife always made clear is that she did not want them near our daughter. Ever. Honor her wish. If the family really didn't attend a funeral to respect her wishes, I'm sure they'd do the same here. Don't let them near your daughter ever, OP. And talk to a lawyer. The death of a parent can be grounds for grandparents' rights. Do not even answer. Not answering is a response, and many times better than saying no. You gotta protect your daughter the way your wife tried to protect her and herself. The only thing you know is that they were manipulative, yet your wife could get very upset if her family was mentioned. So imagine all the trauma she had to deal with. Maybe she was the space goat, and that's why her sister defends them. Either way, break contact with the sister too. Does she keep in contact with you out of genuine interest of her nephew/niece, or because she sees that the door could be slightly open to let her parents in, now that the factor didn't want them is dead? What if one day you meet with the sister and suddenly you see two older people with her? They won't let you escape. This is not a coincidence that now they want to be in your lives. They already wanted to insert themselves, and a channel to that was the sister, who has probably given them a lot of information and photos you may have shared with her. This sister-in-law is fighting her parents' fight for them now, and the fact that neither she nor your wife told them exactly why your wife went no contact is terrifying. She's crossing boundaries left and right. She's shown you who she is, so believe her and cut her off. Not an a-hole. Do not let them have anything to do with your daughter. The last thing you want is to allow them to have a relationship with your daughter. And then after a while, you see exactly why your wife didn't want anything to do with them. Because depending where you live, if they have an established relationship with your daughter, they can go for grandparents' rights. As of right now, they have no grounds. Cut the sister-in-law off too. She's just giving you a taste of how toxic the rest of your wife's family are. Protect your child. Thank you for the advice. With everything on my plate, it's just been so overwhelming, and now this whole situation. I want to be able to honor my wife's wishes, whatever the reason was that made her cut all contact with them.